Asking the model nicely for JSON and hoping is not an integration strategy, and it's not what structured outputs do either. This is constrained decoding. Your schema is compiled into a grammar that physically prevents the model from ever sampling a token that would violate it. There are two complementary features here. JSON outputs constrain what Claude says in its response body. Strict tool use constrains how it calls your functions. Both compile a schema into a grammar that masks the token distribution, so only schema legal continuations are even sampleable in the first place. Instructing a model to respond only with JSON matching a shape biases its sampling. It does not prevent an invalid token from coming out. Structured outputs work completely differently. Your schema compiles into a grammar, and that grammar masks the token distribution at every single step, so only schema legal continuations are sampleable at all. The result is no JSON parse errors, no missing required fields, and no retry loop for schema violations. The guarantee is structural, not statistical. That's the entire point of the feature. Two features solve different problems and compose cleanly in one request. JSON outputs govern the model's final answer, extraction, classification, response formatting. Strict tool use governs the arguments passed to your own functions, which matters when a malformed argument causes a real downstream failure. In an agentic workflow, you typically want both at once: guaranteed valid tool calls and a guaranteed valid final report. Here's the part that shapes your latency profile. Compiled grammars are cached for 24 hours from last use, and that cache is invalidated by changing the schema's structure or its set of tools, but not by changing a name or description field. So iterating on descriptions is cheap. Restructuring the schema is not, and a rarely used schema pays that first request compilation cost over and over. Optional parameters are exponentially expensive to a grammar compiler. Every one not in required roughly doubles a portion of the state space, and union types are worse. That's why these limits are totals across every strict schema in one request, not per tool. 20 strict tools maximum, 24 optional parameters combined, 16 union type parameters combined, and 180-second compile timeout. For strict tools with 6 optional parameters each hits that 24 cap, even though no single tool looks complex by itself. Beyond these published numbers, there are internal caps on compiled grammar size too. That's the 400 that just says schema is too complex for compilations. For common things, people make mistakes on the tested. 1. Enum casing is not guaranteed. A schema enum of topic 3 can come back with different capitalization and no error at all, so compare case insensitively and never define two enum values that differ only in case. 2. The guarantee does not survive a refusal or hitting max underscore tokens. Both come back as a 200 whose body may not match your schema, so always check stop underscore reason before you parse. 3. Structured outputs are flatly incompatible with citations and with message prefill. Enabling either one alongside output underscore config.format is a 400. 4. Adding output underscore config.format invalidates the prompt cache for that conversation thread because it injects an extra system prompt that costs input tokens on top of the cache miss. So, structured outputs are a structural guarantee, not a statistical one, and the two features you'll actually reach for, JSON outputs and strict tool use, compose in the same request. The guarantee has two documented holes, refusal and truncation, and now you know both. Next up is the caching layer. Everything in this module quietly depends on. If clear, sensible thinking is what you are after, subscribing is the most direct way to get the next one. See you in the next video.